Hello and welcome. I am so excited that you're here to practice with me today. This practice is just about 20 minutes and it's designed to leave you grounded and feeling rested. A blanket will be an especially helpful prop today, and if you like to have blocks nearby, then go ahead and grab those, but they aren't necessary. So grab those few things, roll out your mat, and let's get started. We will begin in corpse pose, savasana, laying flat on our backs. If laying flat feels uncomfortable on your low back right at first, try inviting a bend into your knees, feet flat on the ground. Feel yourself grow heavy into your mat. Notice how it feels to arrive so steadily in such a relaxed position. How is your breath moving throughout your body? Without changing the quality or pace of your breath, tune into its natural rhythm. If finding this connection to your breath is challenging today, maybe you try bringing your hands over your belly to feel it rise and fall with each breath. After another breath or two, begin to deepen your breath, letting your inhales inflate your belly like a balloon and then puff up your chest, and letting your exhales release your chest first and then scooping the belly button up and in. 5 more long, slow breaths just like that. If your knees aren't already bent, please do so now. And then tuck your knees in close to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe you roll from side to side or up and down along your spine. Maybe you just enjoy some stillness. And if you're moving, come back to that stillness. Take a big inhale and exhale to extend your knees out to a right angle so that your shins are parallel with the mat. Another inhale, bring your arms out to a T. Palms can face up or down, whichever feels more comfortable. And exhale, drop your knees to the right. Your gaze can look out over your left fingers if that feels comfortable, or you can look up right to the ceiling. If you're feeling like the floor is too far away from your knees, you can use that blanket or a block to help bring the floor up closer to you. Take 5 deep breaths in this twist, trying to soften into it just a little bit more each exhale. Inhale, come back to center. And with a big exhale, tuck your knees in close to your chest for another big hug. One more inhale. And exhale, extend your knees out to that right angle. Inhale your arms to a T. And exhale, drop your knees to the left. Allow yourself to settle into this new side, noticing any ways that it's different than the first. Your gaze can look out over to the right fingers if that's comfortable on your neck, but it's not necessary. Take 5 deep breaths. On your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tuck your knees in close to your chest. One more big hug here. Rock and roll up and down along your spine, eventually gaining enough momentum to come all the way up to a seat with your legs crossed in front of you. And if there's an easier way for you to come to a seat, please feel free to take that instead. Allow your hips to come up a little bit higher or in line with your knees. Sitting up on a folded blanket or a block are both excellent options for this. Let your hips grow heavy into the props or mat below you, while feeling the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky, bringing so much length into your spine. Release your shoulders away from your ears. How does it feel to be upright? Does your breath move differently in this new orientation? Rock over your knees to come to tabletop, moving any props to the side. But if your knees are asking for more padding today, a folded blanket is a great option. With your wrists directly under your shoulders or slightly in front of your shoulders if there's a pinching sensation in your wrist crease, and your knees directly under your hips, inhale as you drop your belly towards the mat, lifting your chin and chest, gazing slightly up towards the ceiling. This is cow pose. Exhale, draw your belly button up to your spine, rounding your back towards the ceiling. The pose should look like a cat stretching its back. Release the crown of your head towards the floor, but don't force your chin to your chest. Continue to flow through these two shapes, cat and cow, adding in anything else that feels good to you on your spine as we warm up our bodies. Come back to stillness with a neutral spine. Step back your right foot straight to that back edge of your mat, keeping your toes on the ground. And with your core engaged, reach your left hand to the front edge of the mat, bicep in line with your ear. If you feel steady and strong here, try lifting your right leg. Keep breathing, pressing out long from your left fingertips to right heel, maintaining that engagement in your core. Don't let your spine sag towards the ground. Exhale, return to a neutral tabletop, and we'll repeat on the other side. This time, your left foot steps back and your right arm lifts. Keep your core engaged, still breathing. If it feels comfortable on this side, try lifting your left foot. One more big inhale, reach long, and exhale, return to a neutral tabletop. Take a few rounds of cat-cow here, whatever other movements might feel good. Come back to a neutral spine and tabletop, and return your left foot to the back of your mat. Reach forward with your right hand again, lifting your left leg. Inhale, reach out just a little bit longer. Exhale, create a cat shape in your spine and draw your right elbow and left knee together underneath your torso. Inhale, reach out long from fingertips to heel. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, draw it in. Good job. Inhale to reach long, and this time, bend your left knee and press your left foot up towards the sky. Allow your spine to curve towards the ground like you're in cow pose. Reach your right hand back behind you, trying to make contact with the left foot, but it's okay if that doesn't happen today. This is bound tiger pose. Keep breathing. One more big breath. And on your next exhale, return to tabletop. 3 breaths. Take some cat-cow, or maybe let your knees go wide, toes come to touch, pressing your hips down and back to child's pose. If you're in child's pose, come back up to tabletop. Check in with your alignment. Are your knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders? Bring your right foot to the back of your mat. Left arm lifts, and then right leg lifts. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, create that cat shape in your spine and draw your left elbow and right knee underneath your torso. Inhale to reach out long. Exhale, draw your knee and elbow together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, in. Great. Inhale, reach out long, and this time, exhale to bend your right knee and press the right foot up towards the sky. Bring that cow shape into your spine. Reach your left hand behind you, trying to make contact with the foot. Are you still breathing? On your next exhale, come back to tabletop. On your next inhale, slowly press back up to tabletop. On an exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left arm with your palm facing up. Let your right shoulder come all the way down to the mat. Rest your right ear and cheek on the mat and gaze towards the left. If this feels uncomfortable in your face or shoulder, try using a blanket or maybe a pillow for some extra padding to bring the floor up closer to you. Keep your left elbow lifting and your hips lifted as well. Be careful to not press your weight into your head. Instead, adjust your position so that you're not straining your neck or shoulder. Let your upper back broaden. Soften and relax your low back. Allow all the tension in your neck, shoulders, arms to drain away. 5 more big breaths. Inhale, untwist, and return to tabletop. We'll begin on the other side. With an exhale, slide your left arm underneath your right with the palm facing up. Let your left shoulder come all the way down to the mat, resting your left ear, cheek on the mat. Then gaze over towards your right. Keep your right elbow lifted and your hips raised. Again, be careful to not press your weight into your head. Instead, adjust your position so that you're not straining your neck or shoulder. Same as the other side, let your upper back broaden, soften and relax your low back. Let all the tension drain out and into the ground. Inhale, untwist, and return to tabletop. Swivel your hips to the side and come to a seat. When you've come to your seat, open your knees into a butterfly position with the soles of your feet facing each other. It might be helpful to place blocks or blanket underneath your knees for some extra support so they're not opening up too much too fast. Once your legs and hips feel comfortable, slowly lower yourself onto your back. Arms can reach out to the sides or rest on top of your belly and heart. You can cover yourself with a blanket if that feels comforting as we release into this restorative posture. Let your breath slow and soften. How does it feel to be in this shape? Keep breathing. As we close our time together, you may choose to stay here in Supta Baddha Konasana, or you may choose to stretch out into a more traditional savasana shape, like where we began. The choice is 100% yours. Please feel free to remain in this restful posture for as long as you need. This is where I'll leave you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. May you seek justice, love mercy, and walk humbly.